Hey everybody, all right, the wiring harness is pretty much done with the exception of terminating it to the mow unit. I did an addition to the wiring harness for a potential future addition of a keyless ignition switch, like the mow lock. I ran the wires up for it. Tied in another ground loop here, so this will be wired separately. I already blanked off and heat shrunk over the ends, and we'll label that once the Tesa tape has been applied to the harness. Everything is all in place. I went ahead and I got the solenoids all terminated. A rear brake light's terminated. I used a Honda style connector for the rear brake light. And like I said, that's pretty much leaves it all. Most likely what I'll do is once I have everything, I will probably cut. I have some heavier plastic, probably like 2 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter thick, maybe less than that, 1 millimeter. And I'll create a shield that'll bolt under, go underneath this here and cover over the terminals and stuff once these are connected, so you can't short them out, but you could lift it up or do whatever you needed to do to get, you'll still be able to get to the fuses, etc. I still have the vacuum line to go through, but that's not dealing with the wiring harness. Other than that, it is done. So most likely what I'm going to do at this point is take the harness out. I was going to go ahead and cut these down, but they're all labeled and I don't have to try to remember all that stuff. So I'll go ahead and take the harness out and go ahead and apply my loom tape, the Tesa tape, to the entire harness, and then we can wire it back in permanently, zip tie it back in through all the straps. Other than that, and then start testing things. So we will come back once I have the loom tape on, and we'll talk about that a little bit, and we'll touch base in a bit. All right, I got the wire harness out, and I just wanted to shoot a quick vid to show you basically how simple it is. These are all the connections that go up to the front. That's the fuel level indicator. That was the new wire that I added for the mow lock. Other than that, it's one big bundle. And then I have my branches here. Oh, by the way, I do have, here's my diode that's in line for the high flash. That's the feedback diode. When I wrap the Tesa tape around it, I will leave this exposed. And then I have a piece of clear shrink wrap, I think, that's big, and I'll cut a band off and split it and then zip tie it around it so it keeps it covered, so you'll be able to see where it's at. Same thing here. This is the 1N4001 diode. That's the feedback diode. And then here's the brake switch. Stuff for the TCI. That's the connector for the neutral and oil level switch. That is the plug for the alternator coming to the battery and the sensing circuit, and then all your mow unit leads, and all this stuff goes back. That's the power going into the mow unit, and then to the start solenoid, the tail light assembly, and then 2 grounds. So it's really simple, one piece. Really can't complain. So at this point I'm going to start wrapping it up with my Tesa tape, and once I get it all wrapped up, we'll come back and I'll let you see what it looks like all taped up, and I'll give you some pointers on it. That's it. All right, gents, there it is. That is the harness. It took about 1.5 rolls of that Tesa tape to complete this harness. When I wrap it, I overlap by half, so as you're rotating it around, I'm overlapping the previous wrap by half all the way across. Another thing that I'll do is when I go to put this into the bike, everywhere there's a zip tie strap, I will probably put another wrap around that area, or any area that may be prone to chafe. Other than that, the harness is done. I'm going to go ahead and get it back in the bike, and we'll proceed from there. All right, everybody, we are pretty much done. I got my lithium float charger on it for right now. I was able to get everything connected and power it up. I still have a couple wires left. Like I said, I still have the sending unit to do, and I have this open wire for the lock for a Mo-lock if I decide to get one on here, because it's already pre-wired for it. So other than that, she is wrapped up. I will go to the, I already tested all the hand controls, everything's good there. So we have, I open up the Mo app because I got it bound already. So when you are ready to, see if it powers up here.
Mo ride ready.
Voila. You can see I have power on the dash. My Mo unit's up. I have my turn signals. You can see it on the indicator. I don't know if you can see the lights flashing or not. Yeah, I'll move it to the back a little bit so you can see. And then there's the right. It turns on the lights. You can see the tail light comes on. I'm not going to bump start it yet because I have no oil in the engine, but I've already ohmed out, made sure that when I turn the kill switch to the on position, I have my voltage at the TCI and I have it at my coils. We're all good there. So I've already, when I did disconnect the starter off of it, I pulled in the clutch to make sure the solenoid would activate. It does. So at this point we are done. I'll go ahead and power it down. Voila. So the Mo unit is connected. My wiring harness is pretty much done for this video series. There's really no need to cover connecting the float sensor because I got the tank is disconnected, you know, it needs to be painted and everything. So I'm not going to cut this until I have the tank done and the sensor mounted in the tank and ready to install it. Then I'll go ahead and terminate this. But for the most part, the bike is done and we are ready to move on to other things. So this concludes the video series for the basic wiring. If you got any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the description section. You can look in the descriptions. There's a bunch of links. I got the link to the wiring diagram that I use for this. So if you want to use it for reference, more than happy to do so. Other than that, thanks for watching and please like and subscribe. That's it.